Bourbon tasteoffs, playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. Join us in our season-long quest to find our tastiest bourbon. Hello, thank you for joining us on Bourbon Tasteoffs. This is episode number 13. We are your hosts, Todd, Dan, Josh, and Tyler. And as you can see, we're still at Dan's place. We're trying to wrap this up with options 5, 6, 7, and 8. So have we been having fun so far, guys?
Absolutely. And you know what? I cannot wait to reveal these bourbons to you people because you guys all have a theory about what this is all about. And some of you are right on the money and some of you are so far off. It's unbelievable.
I'm sure I'm the one that's far off. If we're going back to the ride.
People have things to say about this. They're like, oh, it's like this and it's like this. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could just say something right now.
I bet.
You know, but it'll be so fun. We'll be like, no way. You know,
I can't wait.
It'll be very cool.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no theories. I am mystified.
You're mystified.
I can't. I'm not a mind reader. Dan's a complex individual. He's playing games with us.
It was a simple concept.
I think so.
We're doing a little experiment today. We're having a little party, and we're doing a little blind tasting. I'm putting together some bourbons. We're going to do Buffalo Trace versus Michter's. I got a theory that bourbons that you can find every day on your shelf will beat some of these bourbons. So I'm going to run it past my friends here blind and see if bourbons that you can find every day on the shelf beat these ones that are allocated that everybody's chasing. We'll let you know how it works out.
We've been having some pretty hefty pours, which
I've been trying to cut them back.
Show through on this episode.
I've been trying to cut the pores back.
Oh, Josh.
So this one's number 5. So this is 5, and he wants us to try this. Oh! Cheers!
It's a good thing I didn't drink yet.
No kidding.
Cheers.
We had to start over and drink
Here's
again.
to the weekend.
The artist,
It's a small pour.
the musician, the weekend.
Oh, I was thinking there's a song from back when I was in school, The Freaking Weekend, the remix, R. Kelly. I mean, not the best
nice.
individual on the planet,
Right.
but
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm not gonna
Everybody's
judge
working
your
for the
character.
weekend?
No.
Night Ranger?
No.
I thought it was Men in Hats.
No.
So this is
safety
this
dance?
is interesting.
That's a safety.
Is it safety dance?
Yeah.
This is definitely open mic at the dance.
Yeah. We have an extra one, and we've been inviting people to come over and talk
Absolutely.
about.
And just in case nobody watched the episode before this one, please introduce yourself
The
again.
stags in the middle. Help yourself.
Hi, my name's Adam.
The taste profile just really caught you, as you know it.
Yeah, it's very similar to a Stellum from.
I have
Austin.
not had a Stellum
No,
yet.
it's from Texas, I think. Right, Texas Stellum.
Yeah. The Stellum Rye.
Yeah, just a standard Stellum bourbon. I think is like really similar profile in this one.
You know, it's been so long since I've tried it, but I love the Stellum. So
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, for a budget kind of ish bourbon, like they're solid.
I don't remember it being budget. I think it was
Well, I
like
said-
50 and 100, right?
Sorry. No, it's there. If you get the standard Stellum,
Yeah,
I think it's like
they're
40,
standard, yeah.
40, 45, somewhere
Okay.
in there. The
Yeah.
black label, I think, is like 100.
Yeah.
Like,
Then it starts going up
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Now, at your house, do you guys have a problem like I do and Todd does?
We
about
have 3 floors worth of hiding spots for
Of
our
hiding
whiskey.
spots?
Yeah.
So if you bought some that you've hidden from her, like she doesn't know you've picked
I
it up
tried
yet?
really hard. So I recently bought a bottle of Old Forester single barrel rye.
Okay. Todd just bought that, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I mistook the podcast that I listened to that was bragging it up as just the regular Old Forester rye, and that's what I got. They got the special single barrel rye.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
130 proof, and I was trying to hide it and surprise her with it, and I couldn't. So I actually just like jumped in and told her right away. I was
Gotcha.
like, "No, actually, I got this cool thing today. You need to try it." So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's plenty of times on my way home from work. This morning I worked, and I stopped at 3 liquor stores on the way home. Mm-hmm. So I had 4 bottles in my car. So
Yeah.
I have an issue.
We had to stop
Problem.
buying some because we had nowhere to put them.
I have a tote box in the garage.
I have a shelf in the basement, a liquor cabinet, and underneath the liquor cabinet.
Okay, this is not going to turn into a. I have a
Right.
scar
No, no,
bigger
I'm
than
just-
yours.
No. I'm just saying I understand what your problem is.
Right.
That's all that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Bourbon confessions.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
My husband died. We found him under the mattress.
Right.
There was one in his
awesome.
glove box.
So you think how confident are you with the idea that this could be a Stellum or some?
If it was something in that mash bill area, I would be probably about 70%.
Oh, okay.
70 to 75% for sure. Like if you put it up against that and you looked at the actual mash bill of the product, I'd be like, it's got to be close.
I'm super excited to see how close or far off you might be. Which
I won't say just now.
Yeah. I don't know if Dan has Stellum in his stash. I wouldn't be surprised.
I haven't seen anything. It's hiding around the corner. So,
Right.
this is just off of smell, flavor profile. And,
Exactly. All of us are kind of blind to this,
Yeah.
except for Dan, which is a cool experience.
and not fair.
And not fair, yeah. Yeah.
Today, if he has a poker head.
Yeah.
Fun, but not fair.
Yes.
Right.
I'm picking up a little bit of banana on it, which is usually notorious for like a Brown Forman, Old Forester type product. So I'm picking up an Old Forester vibe myself. And again, it'll be fun to look back and say, you were
Yep.
so wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm landing on this. I'm looking for something to compare to. In our previous episode, there was definitely something that was like, oh, I like this. I would say, I'm a 70%, 80% likable factor for this one.
Okay. Tyler?
You guys ready for another one?
I'm ready.
Something to compete against?
Yeah, well, let's hear what Tyler. What are your thoughts, buddy?
I'm too green to this, but I'm getting a lot on the tongue. I don't taste any banana, but I can't pinpoint the flavor exactly.
I'm right there with you.
It has a flavor that I'll call almost metallic, like what they call like tannic or something, where it leaves like if you licked something metal, and then it's like on your tongue.
I get
then.
that.
Are you thinking tannins?
Is that what?
Almost like wine tannins?
No. This is more like almost metal.
Okay.
This is almost more metal.
You got a
I
stop
know.
sign outside? We can go.
They go lick.
Yeah.
You got a battery?
I'm thinking of a Christmas Story where the
Right.
kid put his
Right.
tongue and he got stuck. I mean, we're not in the middle of winter anymore, so this doesn't work anymore.
So my one son, who's not here on the pod tonight, who's my college kid, who's not a bourbon drinker at all, but I invited him to the party, and he kind of came home surprisingly. I didn't think he was going to come tonight. Showed up. I was napping on the couch. I used to call him starving. We'll grab some lunch, and we noticed a speed sign on our road that had just been put out. That it was brand new, like to show you what your speeds are. And I said to him, like, what are the chances we score that thing tonight? And he's like, this is my kid. He goes, you're such a rookie, Dad. That thing's got a GPS tracker. They'll know exactly where it is. I'm like, good thing you've been down the road, because I would have had that in the garage by the end of the night. Yeah. He's like, Dad, they'll know exactly where that is.
That reminds me of college where there was like construction cones and stuff that showed up in our dorm rooms. Or like I walk into
Those
my buddies.
blinking lights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, one of my buddies, I walked into his dorm room. Following day at like 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. He's got the construction blinking light going on.
Right.
Yep.
Good memories.
I like this. I think this is good.
Yeah. No, it's solid.
Yeah. Yeah, this is.
Ty, would you mind handing out the next group?
And I want to get your wife in here and ask her about her finding some of your stashes.
Oh no! We fully disclose everything.
disclosure.
That's how that works. It's
Tried to hide it from her, but I couldn't.
I couldn't. Like she didn't even get home. Like the first thing she said when she walked through the door was like, "I was like, babe,
Thank you, guys.
we gotta try this."
Thank you, guys.
Which one is which?
5 is definitely lighter than 6.
Like,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
good,
The
good,
dark
good.
one is 6.
Definitely.
I'm getting a little confused over here.
There's a lot going on. There's like a party in the background. We're tasting bourbons. We're trying to get an episode in.
Don't you know I can only do 2 things at the same time?
Whatever, dude. You're so good at multitasking.
All
I'm the
right.
one that's focused. It's like, "Arr."
Good smell.
Kind of good nose on it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's a little higher proof, I
a
believe.
little bit.
Yeah, I think everything
Lot
else
stronger.
so far has been lower. I think the theme might be low to high,
Possibly
trying to go up
Yeah.
that ramp.
I was actually thinking
Caught
the theme
me.
was north to south. Northern whiskeys versus
Oh.
southern whiskeys. Just because we've been doing stuff that's more sweeter, more oaky versus more brighter finish. That was kind of my thoughts on everything.
Okay.
Hey, you're too smart for this podcast.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry,
A little cerebral.
I just love
You
whiskey.
gotta
It's-
bring it down a little bit.
We got to realize who set this up.
You're using words we don't know.
North and south. Yeah. Guys, I just
This
used
has a
our-
lot more going on.
Yeah, for sure.
This has a lot more going on. Besides the color,
there's
besides
a
the
lot more
nose, it's just, there's a lot going on here.
Oh, gee. Yeah, that is just drawing caramel right out of that
Yeah.
wood. That is just drawing that caramel and vanilla.
This is good, isn't it?
I love the smell. It's good.
The nose may be better than the taste,
Yeah.
and I like the taste.
It's like
This
Johnny
reminds
Walker
me
Blue
of
Label.
Woodford. This reminds me of Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, Woodford isn't as strong as this, though. This is a higher proof, I feel like, than Woodford.
Woodford has some higher proof stuff, though.
5 versus you like 6? 5 better than 6? 5 really? We're all big 6s over here.
Now, are you talking to the person that picked one that
yeah,
nobody
you
else
were on
picked?
the opposite end of all of us, right? Right.
I think that's the oldest son syndrome. They always do the opposite of
I
dad,
know what
right?
I know what 5 is. I know what 5 is. Now, don't say nothing. In 5, I think it's his favorite bourbon.
Oh,
So it's interesting that he picked it out.
and he doesn't know.
He doesn't know, but
Okay.
I think 5 is his favorite bourbon.
It's got a flavor profile for sure.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
So it's curious that he picked that out.
And,
right.
and he mentioned Bullet earlier, so maybe that's a Bullet.
And you're a 5 too, Connor? I'm 5, yeah. Red, an opinion? 5?
Really?
6 was way too much for you, Hank.
Wow.
Like 6.
I like 6 too. It's a little more zesty, a little more spice to it. It's probably
I feel like I have to hurry up and throw out my vote before I get overruled.
Right.
Everybody's like 5, 5, 6, 6.
Right,
I
right.
feel like I'm in a
Little battle
auction.
royale. So it was 1, 2, 3 5s over there. Becca, you were a what?
6.
6?
All right, I'm not picking yet.
I'm a 6.
I'm 6.
I'm throwing in 6.
Is that where you're at, Todd?
I am. I mean, when I'm talking about caramel and
I'm
vanilla
on 6
and
for
just
sure.
sweetness
It's the
and
flavor
darkness from
profile
the
for
wood,
everything.
Okay.
and even heat. I mean, it's got the heat that I like too. So
So we're at 5-3 right now with 6.
Yeah, it's a good balance of heat and flavor.
yeah,
I think the mouthfeel on it is
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it comes across, you can feel it go down, and it's a nice warm hug.
the
That's all it is.
viscosity
Yes.
it just covers your whole mouth, and it's just leaves no corner left untouched.
6 is really good.
You made that weird, Todd.
Hey, do we want to bring in?
I love making things weird though.
We want
that's
to
what
bring
I
in,
do.
Do we want to bring in Becca? Get her opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hi, who are you?
I'm
And
Becca. Hi.
Just in case anybody didn't watch the previous episode, but they're watching this.
The
one.
gentleman that was here before me is my husband.
Yes.
He's got some great knowledge.
He's
He
very
might be a
good
little too
knowledge.
smart for this group, though.
Uh-oh.
No, he might be a regular
Yeah. He could be a regular
You might invite him
guest-
back as a
right,
guest.
guest
fill-in
host. Yeah.
guy. Yeah. Do you like bourbon?
Although Becca's really good at this too. You gave some good insight on the previous.
You guys should do a husband-wife podcast.
Shut
There's a
up.
ton of them good like
we
that.
don't need competition.
More fun with other people.
Right. That's why. Right. So I wanted to bring it on the road. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
6 is my favorite out of all of them so far.
Oh,
I think
it
so,
is
too.
delicious.
think
It
so,
is
too.
delicious.
It is well balanced.
Yeah.
It's hit you in the face. It's pow. It's
Yeah.
the others
I agree.
have all been very great, like smooth, easy drinking. But like if I wanted to create a cocktail with this, like this would shine. It would not let anything.
This is too good for a cocktail.
I
I'm
agree.
just saying.
I agree.
If I were to put it with something else, nothing would outshine it. It's
Yeah. This is
So
too,
Becca, let me
Really
ask
good.
you: Have you had blind tastings before? And if you have, how often? Is this like a new experience for you? Have you ever done
this
something
is
like
totally new. We'll like go to the liquor cabinet, make a pour, and then bring it over and be like, "What is it?"
That's kind of.
But that's
kind of a
going based
blind.
off of what I know I have.
Yeah.
Right.
This I have no idea.
Well,
what
this is
we're
a
playing
double
with.
blind where we have no idea what the options are or what's in front of you. You are talking about a single blind, whereas you know what's in your cupboard, but you
Yes.
just don't know what's in front of you.
Exactly.
Correct. Yeah, two totally
So this
different
is-
beasts. But
So no, I've never done this before.
are you enjoying it?
This is fun,
It is a lot of fun, isn't it?
especially because like I'm still left hanging.
Right.
I'm not used to the whole like, okay, what is it? And then you tell me. Like I still don't know, and I'm
Yeah.
on my 6th one.
But it makes it so organic because you are just going off of your taste, and then when you do find out, you're surprised like everybody else. You're like, wow, and it's such a neat experience.
I'm ready for the reveal.
Yeah.
Unless we're gonna go on to 7 and 8 or
7
9
and
and
8,
10.
7 and 8, and then the reveal. 7 and 8, and then the reveal.
So
You're gonna have to carry everybody home.
where do we land at the table? So
right.
so
we
so
had
it's
6. Yep.
Yeah.
six, and I actually had to go back to my notes.
This is
And I'm also a
delicious.
6, but it took me a little bit because I actually went back to 5, and it is a really good bourbon.
It is.
No.
So I really did enjoy it.
I-
5, and I actually enjoyed it more as I tasted it longer.
Absolutely. We did have a bourbon tasting here at my house. Tyler was here. My Tyler was here. We're at the end of the night. We had 20 bottles lined up that we had went through.
I heard it was an epic night.
It was stupid.
That was bad.
How do you determine the winner of 20 bottles? I mean,
I don't think they were worried about winning. I think they were worried about surviving.
Well, we had started out with too many in the mix and whittled it down. So we kept like kicking bourbons out. Mm-hmm. And if I remember right, it was the final four. We had gotten to a final four. Eagle Rare, New Riff single bottle.
Wow.
Bullet 10. Do you remember what the other one was then?
Was it a Long Branch?
Might have been. I'm not sure. I remember the fourth one.
It wasn't maybe it was a Yellowstone. It was Long Branch or Yellowstone?
It might have been Yellowstone. But we had been through, and actually the last one of the night was Old Forester 1920, their highest proof. And everybody's like, oh,
It's got some meat.
but they wanted to try it again.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa, that's hard.
Well, by the end of the night, though, your
palate's
your
there for it.
palate is allowing for it.
it's torched.
And
Right.
my wife was here for that one, and she kind of babied us along, and it just got people.
Everybody ended up on your couch.
No, some
Just
people.
Dan.
I went in the bedroom, just laying flat. People were still here, and I had like went off to bed, socks on, contacts still in. I
love
was
you
like,
guys.
I just said goodbye to everybody. I'm like, I'm gonna fall out.
Peace
I
out.
was just done, toast. All of a sudden, I had that moment where I was standing in the kitchen. I'm like, I can't do no more. This is it. I'm tapping out. I'm out. But it was a good time. Everybody drank too much,
Awesome.
but it was fun.
I wish I was here.
It was.
But at the same time, I'm glad it wasn't.
So that's why we're only doing 8 tonight,
Yes.
as opposed to 20.
And we've been having some heavy pours, though, so we've been having fun.
apologize for
It's all
being
right.
overserved.
It's fun. So we are going to decide which one of these won, and I think we did, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct that number 6 is
Yes.
going to walk
Number
away with
6 won.
this?
Yep, let me get the last one.
Very good. All right, we're back. We're going to be tasting bottle 7 and 8. This is a marathon, which I like.
Well, here's the
What are your
thing.
thoughts, Dan?
We started drinking before
Dan's more of a sprinter.
we started the first podcast. So this is kind of our third episode almost of the day, quantity wise. But I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
Excellent.
All right. I like to hear that.
I want to show these bottles off.
I bet the anticipation is killing you. It's
Yeah.
killing us.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what I've been drinking.
Right.
Like, I'm going to forget what I've been mentioning.
That's why I'm glad he's taking notes. Where people,
Yeah.
people said this, that. I can, as the group here, and now that he's on the table, he was wrong about the stout. That's not what it was.
No, I'm sure. But it's hard to guess. I mean, it's impossible to guess.
I could never do that.
No.
I don't know. I mean, there was one episode that I tasted it and I was like, "This is Four Roses." It's got all over it. And then the other one, I guess we kind of knew already that Angel's Envy Caribbean Cast. I think there's just some
Yeah.
some that you know.
When it stands out that much, yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree with you in general. So what are your thoughts on this one?
It's got a really pleasant nose.
Yeah. I typically like to compare like one against another, just basically showing the color difference and just the viscosity difference, maybe legs and stuff. So this is kind of a new format, which is a little different, so it's hard to
And
acclimate.
we absolutely can do it. I just kind of want to take time with each one of these.
Sure.
I feel like so, like I said, these are all good bourbons that I think I've brought before you guys.
Yeah.
So I just want to take time with a little bit of each one of them, sit back and forth on them.
Yeah.
This one's very comparable to the last one. Taste wise.
Which was
Got a good nose.
bottle 6.
6.
Right.
This one has more spice to me.
8, 9 bourbons of the day. I don't smell. My nose doesn't pick up anything, Todd.
Okay.
What are you picking up?
I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really picking up much either, but the taste is there.
Yeah.
The taste is good.
Yeah, real sweet.
So I liked it. I liked 7. Very good. I didn't get much off the nose, but it tasted very good.
Got some heat in my throat.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. It
think it was a little less heat than the previous than 6 though.
I don't think so. At least. Welcome,
You think less?
Becca. Hello.
I think Tyler, a little less heat than number 6.
This tasting started before I was here, and I missed out at the first beginning.
You didn't miss any tasting.
I didn't miss
Just
any
You
tasting.
missed the pregame.
I missed the previews
Right.
of the
Thanks, sir.
pre-game. So knowing that I had an invitation to try one of them, I went and tasted that in between. What number are we on?
Oh, yeah, we're on 7 right
In
now.
between 6 and 7. So I had to kind of clear my palate. I was eating some munchies and drinking
So
water.
was that
to
a
try to
higher
get-
proof one that
Oh,
you tried?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So your taste might be all whacked out.
That's
right now.
why I'm
These are
struggling.
totally different.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
These are totally 7 and 8 are totally different.
This is 7. We haven't.
I'm on 8.
Oh,
Well,
you're on
darker,
8.
too.
I just moved to 8,
8 is darker. Yes.
but 8 is nowhere near as heavy,
No.
drinking wise.
Which one is 8?
Hey Dan, I thought you said nothing is finished. This seems finished in something.
No, not that I'm aware of.
I can't pick out the flavor here, but it's a lot of flavors. It's like a Dr. Pepper, 21 flavors
Yeah.
of something.
Yeah.
23 flavors.
Off by 2.
I get
Baskin Robbins.
I get an apple. I get an apple.
I can see that.
It's a Macintosh.
Wow.
No?
That is so different to me.
Do you get Macintosh?
Not Macintosh, but almost like
There's a
apple, where it's
tartness.
like, yeah, tartness is you're right, but almost apple like.
Do I hear barking?
It's the dog outside.
Oh, I thought it was just in my headphones. I'm like, do I have an app on something?
Like Anchorman. Hey, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
But totally different, huh?
Definitely. Like you've made comments before in previous episodes of like, this is something I don't think I've ever had before in a bourbon. Like to me, that's this. This is like throwing out weird, different experiences just from the very first, like from the taste, from the lips
The
to
nose
the
is
tongue,
fantastic.
and then back. It's different.
The nose is fantastic.
I agree.
You know, I don't know where I land on this.
Oh,
Tyler,
that's
what
where
are you
I'm getting
thinking?
that's where I'm getting green apple. Green apple in the nose.
I get Mac, not green. It's not quite hard enough to be a green apple. It's not a Granny Smith
man.
to me.
Okay.
That's where I got Mac.
I don't know my apples that well, but I'm getting an apple.
No, you're
Yeah.
fine. It's
Like
a
straight
tartar
out
apple.
of apple orchard.
Yeah, seriously. Like straight off the tree apple.
Like it's in your tote. Kind of
This-
apple, you know?
This may be.
Is this a Woodford Reserve?
This may be
I get peach off of Woodford Reserve. Like a
a
But
mistake.
I'm getting that.
Yeah, I
with
was.
it.
Is this Crown
Smell
Apple?
it.
Ground apple. You guys got me.
I was like, hey, one of these is not like the others, and I would say that that's what this one is.
I
No,
thought all
like
of my
inhale
other
deeper. There's a peach
pairings
in there too.
were close. They were trying to prove a point in my mind, in my theory, but I think these are too different to
be able
prove
to
a
prove
point.
it. Okay.
To prove a point. They're totally different bourbons.
100%.
They're totally different bourbons. The other
yeah.
ones all seemed similar, but these, yeah, they're in different. One of them's in the wrong category, or the wrong place, in my opinion on this.
You're playing games.
well,
Definitely 8.
I think right, based on our comments, I think it's pretty clear what's different.
I mean, you could just say, well, I mean, 7's clearly much stronger, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so
This is floral too. Like we're getting apple. I got peach. He didn't get peach. I don't know if anybody.
I don't know.
else
Is
got peach.
8
There's
an
a-
infinity bottle? Just trying to.
no, I
This
do
is
have it in my
the
Yellowstone
Dr.
bottles.
Pepper.
That's a good question.
All of the flavors.
Yeah, 20.
There's a lot going on here.
I don't know if I get that much of a difference in the heat though between the two.
Oh, really?
No.
I don't.
I don't.
No.
I thought
don't
7
either.
was much
Both
hotter.
on the tongue.
Hotter.
Similar.
Yeah, I'm not caught up on the heat. I'm caught up on the flavor, and I'm
right.
I'm going to be pretty bold here, but I'm going to say I'm not a fan of 8.
Not a fan, huh?
I'm not a fan. Just I'm.
See,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
So write
also a
that down.
gin drinker.
Josh, not a fan of
And
it.
as a gin drinker, I like everything I'm getting out of here. There's
Oh.
a lot of herbally funness to it for me.
I am not a gin drinker, but I can see how you're talking about it, where there's that
Botanicals.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
And saying that, I'm also going to agree with Josh that I am
right.
not a fan of 8.
No.
It takes you for a ride. It's a cool experience because it's something you're not familiar with. So it's like you're experiencing it, and it's like, oh, cool. What is this about? But when you compare it to other ones, like number 7, I am going to go to 7 every time.
I'm intrigued by it, honestly.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apples to apples.
I do think my 8 choice may have let the group down a little bit.
Oh well, Dan.
It's not about
don't
letting
beat
people
yourself
down.
up.
It's about finding the best bourbon of the year.
No, I just think I could have made a better pairing choice against 7. 7 I definitely wanted in, and 8 I thought was going to be a good comparable. And now having them, I probably should have done them, neck to neck like this, back to back. It's just not a good comparable. It might have paired up against something else better. And you'll see in a minute because this is going to play out in a second. So all of you guys are all 7s, right? On this?
Well, I think you picked 8, didn't
I
you?
pick 8.
Oh, you pick 8, huh?
We should. Hey, let's get the
7 is
audience.
great.
So over there we had
You're
8. 7. 8. And you didn't. So we had 3 8s and a 7. And then over here we had a 7,
7.
a 7.
7.
8.
7.
So
4
7 still
8s.
takes it then.
7 is 5
1.
over.
By just
4.
this table. So
Wow.
everybody.
Either way, there's 5 7s, 4 8s.
So our audience doesn't know what they're talking about.
They're drinking way more than we are. We're trying to keep it light so we can actually get through a podcast.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So,
In our first episode, we had a 5 and 4, and this one was also a 5 and 4. But it was a totally different breakout this time, which is kind of interesting. For those that can't see the audience, individuals were actually that I would have expected to be on the 7 train were actually on the 8 train. So yeah, very interesting.
I was surprised by that too. Yeah. All right. So we're back tasting 7 and 6. And 7 just beat out 8, which, people on the other side were saying 8 was better in their opinion. It was definitely different, though.
6 is the best of them all.
So you tried 6 again.
6 is the best of them all. I love your face. I'm having so much fun guessing your eyeballs. I'm going to play poker with you.
6 is delicious. It's got everything you'd want in a bourbon.
Agreed.
It does.
I just had a chocolate chip cookie before this. Tastes a little chocolate. Dan,
See what I mean?
Dan
That's what I
told
was
me
talking
earlier
about.
he's going to give me chocolate. So this is a Costco special.
Have the honor.
The Costco special.
Yeah.
It
Costco
is. This
Costco.
is from Costco.
Oh my
They're on
God,
sale
that
right
looks
now.
so rich.
We had a street corn dip
amazing.
too, also from Costco.
This is gonna change the whole tasting, isn't
Not
it?
mine. I already picked it.
Oh, did you?
Nope.
I think Rebecca's right on the money. 6 is killer. 6 is
So good.
so good.
It is. It's exactly what you'd want in a bourbon. But I got so enamored with 7 just because it kicked 8's ass.
I know what 7 is, and 7's good.
6 is better.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
If I were to guess, my one son Connor left, and Tyler and Fred, I bet you they're 7s. And we wind up being 6s.
Yeah.
6 has more there, right? 6 has
Yeah.
a little more going on.
It's bolder.
More on the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we unanimous here, or should,
I think we
should
are.
vote quick?
Yeah, let's start voting. I'll take 6. Come on, followers.
6.
Yeah.
6. All right, 6 it is.
So the theme for tonight was many times when I start talking bourbon with people, they want all of these trace products. They want a blends, they want an Eagle Rare, and I'll be like, well, I know something that I can get you at the liquor store today that tastes better than that. And so my theme was products that compare to Buffalo Trace products that you can find in your liquor store every day that are comparable to that product. Eagle Rare lost to the Four Roses single barrel.
Ooh.
Which Tyler picked it out. He was the lone one on that. And Eagle Rare is your favorite, right?
Eagle Rare is my favorite.
Yeah. So he picked that out as his.
Well
which
done.
I
So
said
you-
at the
That's
you
time.
call
so
that.
exciting
So,
for you to watch all this.
and
That is
then
wild.
The Blantons, the 1910, I thought was the one misstep on my part because they were just so different in taste. I thought, they
And
were
I
so
love the 1910. That's actually one of my favorites.
different.
And I voted
you
8.
And you didn't like it so much tonight.
I did not like it. You're right. I did not like it. And I like, hey, talk about the 1910 offense. So very, very,
Right.
very surprising.
Right. So you, Connor, and that you guys tended to like the more middle of the road bourbons, which is pretty similar to your more
I like the 3 and the 5, so that was the Blantons.
The
and
Blantons.
And the Four Roses.
no the Eagle Rare.
Blanton's
And that's
Eagle
why I
Rare.
said there was going to be hard for you because
Yeah.
the Blantons is extremely. I'm like, unfortunately,
You've
for
got
you.
high-priced tastes.
Right. Yeah.
Nope.
So they're going to
do.
be hard to find
You do.
bottles for you.
You might
Right.
say no, but you do.
Right. So those are the bottles you can't
I would
find.
love to try your Blantons against the Blantons I have at home, because I felt like
They're
that
all
was
different because it's
better.
single barrel.
Yes,
Because ours is not as good as that one.
that was very good.
I would actually agree. That's one of the better blends I've had.
Yeah.
And this is the one I just got at Sendex.
What's the barrel?
It's already gone.
Is it because of the pores that is that empty?
I can't believe
Just got it.
we put down into the sink that much.
Oh my god.
I yelled at you. for
Had
taking
I
my
known,
cups
I would have
away.
brought 4 plastic things to be able to put one by one. And actually, I would have brought 8 because all of these are great. Lucky people. And I would actually say the sink is even more lucky. Had we known, I would have.
Yeah.
I would have been like flask.
I would have been like a plumber, like sawing the bottom of that sink.
So,
going,
no,
hey!
I had no idea we were doing Buffalo Trace products.
So that was the theme.
That was fun.
The big thing for me is how well the Four Roses does, and you can get that anywhere.
It's good.
You can
That's
get that
a
anywhere.
specific Four Roses, though.
Yeah, I mean, that is a little aged a little bit more. That was consumer beverage, but you can.
Well,
I can bring on a Four
We
Roses.
figured
that's
this
same.
out a couple episodes ago. That small batch select, Four Roses single barrel. It's good.
It-
Very good.
Very underrated, in my opinion.
Yep.
I had not touched it in a long time, and then started drinking it again, and I'm like, this is really a good bourbon. This is, I mean,
Yeah, so we had 5 versus 6, which was Eagle Rare versus Four Roses. Four Roses won. And then we had 7 versus 8, which is E.H. Taylor versus the 1910.
Yeah.
And E.H. Taylor ran away. I think there was a little disdain towards the 1910. A little bit surprising because a lot of us, and I've been preaching from the mountaintops. I was like, hey man, like I really love the 1910. So a little bit surprised I get smacked in the face with the reality.
At the same
but,
time,
but I love E.H. Taylor. E.H. Taylor is actually one of my favorites. I just never find it anywhere to purchase. So it's freaking awesome to have
when you
tonight.
were first explaining what Bottle and Bond is, you were telling the story about E.H. Taylor and how he had to make sure, like, advertising was correct, where it's like they're not putting spit and acid into bourbon just to try to bring color and,
Right.
and spice to it. You were explaining what E.H. Taylor actually did, and that's the bottle that did that. And I don't know if people realize it, but on a previous episode, we actually picked Buffalo Trace to beat Michter's, and Buffalo Trace is actually Eagle Rare, just not aged for 10 years. And I don't know if people didn't realize that. Like, Buffalo Trace is an actual 4-year product, where Eagle Rare is the same exact liquid, but
10
just
years.
aged
Same
for
mash
10
bill.
years.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing to me, where it's like
Yes.
so different, but yet it's the same product. It's just what the barrel does to it. And it provides so much extra flavor. But in this example, we were going 7 against 6, which was E.H. Taylor against Four Roses single barrel. And again, this is a private selection. It's not what you can typically find on a shelf, but it's very similar because it's the same product, but like Eagle Rare, just aged longer. You know, it's the single barrel aged longer, just like the Buffalo Trace aged longer to become Eagle Rare. And I thought this was a fantastic setup. Dan, you nailed it in my opinion.
So I mean, Dan, while you're watching 10 people go through this today, what was going through your head?
I was really surprised that the Buffalo Trace did as well as it did. I mean, I know everybody seeks it out, but historically, it doesn't do well in blinds. I mean, it just doesn't. Especially at my house, Michter's does better. I knew the Four Roses would do good. It's just got everything a bourbon should have.
Yeah.
And I think the Bullet 10 is a totally undersung product. I think people just pass it over because it's Bullet and they don't realize it's been aged and it's mellowed and it's got a little more. I think the biggest surprise for me actually was the Old Forester, how it underperformed tonight. But there was a lot of other really big flavor stuff here, so
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
hard for it to say.
and the Old Forester 1910, I believe, is a toasted barrel, so it is different.
A little
than-
finished.
than-
Like you
right.
even explained when you were tasting it. You're
Does
like,
it
"Are
say
you sure there's
toasted on
no
the barrel?
finished?"
I'm almost positive 1910 is toasted.
I mean, they're all toasted. That's part of
A,
Olfo.
f-
But I mean,
a fire on in 1910, a fire on whiskey roll led to the Forester being rebarreled in a heavily charred barrels. This double-barreled expression follows the same process as the original Old Vine whiskey. So yeah, well, I believe toasted. Could be wrong.
Okay. So almost more like a double oaked.
Right.
Yeah, I'm surprised too because out of the whiskey roll options, that is typically my favorite of the Old Forester whiskey roll.
Okay.
I actually leave a bottle of Trace in my freezer, and I'll looking for a quick sipper. That's what I go to.
see, I love
Take
Trace
a pull out of the bottle.
for its price point. When you can find it, it is like that is a fabulous bottle for its price. When people are like reselling it, it's like, okay, I like it, but do I like it that much? Like, no, I'm just gonna pay MSRP at the store, and when they get it, they get it, and when they don't, they don't. Like,
Didn't we see at Woodman's the Four Roses at $38?
We did. It was on sale
Right.
for 38.
Four Roses for $38.
This one
Really?
with the private select?
No,
or the,
no.
Just the regular
Four
one.
Roses.
No, the one that we had in the previous episode.
That's this one.
Well, I thought we had the Four Roses Select. It was this exact same bottle.
No, it's not the exact same bottle.
No.
But it was a higher end of it. It's not the exact
It's
same
probably
one.
a year aged differently. Like the one we had in a previous episode was aged an extra year over this one.
Okay.
But still equally hard to find. Like these are not something
Because
you
that
can-
was a brown label, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
it was the same exact label as
Okay.
this.
Cool.
So
Well,
Beautiful.
again, another fantastic experience. I love getting together with you guys and tasting these bourbons. We're finding out what our best tasting whiskey is for the year, and this process has been nothing but educational, enjoyable, like experimental. Like
Yeah.
we are having all sorts of kind of excitement. Where it's exciting to bring people that
Sure.
aren't part of this into it and hearing what they have to say about it. Becca, you're one of them.
Right.
We really appreciate you coming out and joining us for all this. Everybody else here, congratulations. Round of applause for everybody here. We really appreciate your input on all of this. And Dan, again, thank you so much for inviting
no
all
problem.
of us
I'm glad I worked
and
out.
making this a fantastic experiment.
Yeah, let it
So-
all work out.
Again, please like and subscribe and join us next episode. But we're now going to talk through a mouthful of chocolate.
These were in your fridge or freezer. They're cold.
Wait, let me try.
Yeah, they're tough.
Oh, you're right. Like when you talk through it and try to do a podcast with a mouthful of chocolate, it's really
caramel.
frozen. It really makes a good product.
all right, guys.
This is frozen.
They're not frozen. They're just cold. They were in the fridge.
It takes a full, like, alligator chop to get through it. Do you guys know the difference between a hormone and an enzyme?
No. No.
You can't hear an enzyme. Yeah.
We can edit that out, right?
We can, yes.